So what do you think about when you think of the stereotypical hunter? Just a guy who likes to kill animals that has no respect for the animal or the environment around it? Hi, I'm Matthew Sakolowski, and I'm here to talk to you about how that stereotype doesn't fit most hunters. Hunters help contribute to the well-being of their community and the environment all around us. This is a relevant topic because environmentalism today is a very hot topic in our world, and many people have really strong views on taking the life of an animal. I grew up in the Midwest around a lot of hunters, so I feel like I have some credibility as to the intentions of a lot of hunters. Today I'll be talking to you about 3 different topics: how hunters help keep the community safe, how they help control the population of wildlife, and how they help fund habitat conservation. Alright, so let's jump right into the first topic. You might feel unsafe knowing that your neighbor has guns and bows to kill animals, but really they're there to help you. Hunters help condition animals to have fear towards humans. Paul Nadasti from Wisconsin University wrote a peer-reviewed article that stated that Colin Scott, an anthropologist, found a connection between hunting and a fear of humans. He did a study on geese, and he found out that the more we hunted geese, the more they were afraid of us, and they communicated that within their own species. Now, geese aren't a big problem to us, but when you start talking about things like bears and mountain lions, there could start to be an issue. If they don't have a fear of humans, they can start integrating into our neighborhoods, into our communities, and the more they're in contact with us, the better chance there is of an attack. Now, a perfect example of this is Washington State. In 1990, they banned hunting mountain lions. And from when the state was founded, there's only ever been 2 mountain lion attacks, and one was in 2018. Now, it used to be whenever they saw a mountain lion anywhere near a populated area, they would immediately kill it because that animal wasn't afraid of humans. But now, over time, since the 90s, they've been reintegrating back into society in Washington, and someone got killed. While it's not something most of us ever think about, it really does help us be safe in our communities. The next topic is how hunters help control wildlife. Most wildlife in the U.S. is tracked by their population, and there's a rough estimate of that population in each region of the country. Now, if that population gets too much, then that's where hunters come in. For example, if deer are overpopulated, they can cause things like destruction to crops, and they can also eat resources for smaller animals and disrupt the food chain. Now, what they would do is just hunters would harvest more deer than the usual amount during a hunting season to help thin that out and have a healthier population. But another reason is because of invasive species, and we should all know a little something about this in Florida because of things like wild hogs, pythons, and lionfish. And wild hogs, just alone, the Department of Agriculture estimates that they cause roughly $2.5 billion in damages across the U.S. Now, hunters are never going to get rid of hogs altogether, but they can help out their local areas and their local properties by getting rid of them. And that's just a little idea of what they can do. That was just from hogs just tearing down crops. Yeah, so they're really helping to try to have the ecosystem thrive. Now, they don't only help manually, but they also help fund habitat conservation. In a bill to Congress, Mr. Barroso stated that sportsmen and women make the most avid environmentalists. That makes sense because they're out in nature a lot more than people who don't partake in these activities. And they help generate billions of dollars in conservation. And this is through things like hunting licenses, fishing licenses, hunting tags, taxes on ammunition and sporting equipment. That's just to name a few. Without their funding, there would not be as much wildlife conservation as we see today. In conclusion, hunters help out their community, they help control population, and they help habitat restoration. Hunters help contribute to their community, they help their environment through controlling population, and to summarize the last time, they protect our neighborhoods, they maintain healthy wildlife populations, and they fund habitat restorations. Now I hope I brought you some insight into how hunters really help the community and the environment all around us. Thank you.